morning on my way to work, me again sort of thing. I quite like doing these on my way to work because they break the journey up a bit. It's not long anyway, it's only 20 minutes. Several things this morning. Donald Trump tried to shoot him again. Luckily this time the Secret Service, now they got rid of the lefty leader of them, is actually did their job. And the perpetrator, but they only just got him because apparently they could just about make out the end of his rifle sticking out of a bush. So that was a lucky one, 500 yards away, which with the rifle he was using would easily could have easily caused a lot of damage. You know, so it's just and it turns out that he was a 60-year-old left-wing nutter, and he used to be a bit bizarre online and that. I don't know the full facts, I can't really say, but let's say it did involve gender, well, allegedly. Yeah, so we got that to deal with. It seems to me at the moment, I've got to be careful what I say now because we live in a totalitarian state, but it seems to me that if you try and stand up to the left, say anything about them, try and debate them, anything like that, have a point of view now in the Western world, well, definitely in England, and I think it's the USA definitely, and also I think Australia is as bad because they got socialist government at the moment. They either want to cancel you or put you in prison or what have you, and I think this is very, very dangerous. I see they've started up a committee, or Starmer has, a select committee in the Parliament with a cabinet minister as chair of it, which is unheard of, to basically silence reform and try and get rid of GB News and things like that. So this is like a totalitarian state. I mean, I was on the pier yesterday in Southwold, which is very rare for me because I don't tend to go down the seafront. And of course there's a big painting of George Orwell on one of the walls of the pier because he lived in Southwold. He actually hated Southwold, actually. I know Southwold celebrated. He used to live in a small house, or his parents did, opposite the old King's Head site, and on the High Street, and he only lived there a while. He hated it and he moved away. But as we all know, he wrote Animal Farm, 1984 and what have you, and you read those books. Well, I read them at school because it was like one of those books that you had to read. It was like we had 3 or 4 books that we had to read at school to do with English literature and that. One was the Dune trilogy by Frank Herbert. The other was Animal Farm. The other author was George Orwell, Animal Farm in 1984, and of course Shakespeare and all that old bollocks. But the thing is, I can remember from them books is so much of what he said rings true for what's going on at the moment in this country. The way that free speech is being quashed, how the state wants to control everything. They want to nationalise the railways, they want to nationalise this, that and the other. The unions are getting more control now. You can't say anything. If you say anything which is even slightly against the narrative coming from the Labour Party, you get called an extremist, a far right, a Nazi. You're not allowed. You get, and if you say anything online, you get absolutely, you're being censored or cancelled, or you're struggling to, you know. I've got to be so careful what I say because of my YouTube channel, because all that happens is YouTube will just switch me off. You know, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, even X is not quite as free as Mr. Musk seems to make out. because he's still got a big office full of moderators there, and there's still quite a lot of left-wingers in his moderators. And I know for a fact people have had posters down because they've gone against, you know, they've either supported Trump or what have you. I mean, I watched a bit of video the other day. This guy had a MAGA cap on, Make America Great Again, which is a Trump supporters cap. And this lunatic, this man wearing a woman's dress, basically just attacked him with no reason at all. Came out of the blue in the middle of the street and started punching him in the head and going absolutely apoplectic, eh? I mean, is this how bad politics has got in the Western world now? That you can't even wear a fucking hat, you know, with a political slogan on, which means no harm at all, make America great again. I mean, what the hell does that say? It's a statement. It's not even right or left wing. Let's just make the country great again. It's like saying let's make Great Britain great again, you know? I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And of course, the mainstream media don't report any of this. You have to find it online. I mean, the stuff I've been finding online, which has been going on in this country, which doesn't get reported by BBC or ITV, so you have to go to what I call citizen news channels to find the news, and then you have to wade through all these different citizen news channels and try and work out what's true and what isn't. Fact check yourself constantly, because you can't trust anything that comes out of the BBC or ITV. I mean, because the BBC have been shown to be totally biased by that recent report. So yeah, it's getting worrying now. It's getting worrying, and it'll get worse. The more entrenched Labour get in power, the worse it'll get. The only thing I am praying is that some of the older statesmen in the Labour Party, not these new youngsters, you know, who are idealistic idiots, who just come straight out of university, have basically gone to school, gone to college, gone to university, done a politics degree and gone straight into Parliament. They ain't got a clue about life or anything, you know, like our local MP. She's a nice enough girl, but she ain't got a bloody clue. She's just got a double-barrel name, rich family, like a load of crap, you know. But there are some there are some elder statesmen in the Labour Party. I don't agree with their politics, but at least they have common sense views about the world, and they are proper Labour guys, you know. I respect them because their views on life aren't like Blair and Campbell and Starmer. Control, you know, I mean, and all this rubbish, you know, bloody digital IDs is the next thing they're going to come up with. They've got to find ways of controlling us. Pay per mile, that means you'll have a black box in your car, which means that you'll be connected to the government constantly. Then they'll add other things to that black box, like speeding and all that, so they remove the judicial process. You know, this is all that's happening at the moment. We're turning into China Mark II. But I'm hoping that some of these elder statesmen, even Corbyn, I mean, at the end of the day, Corbyn, I totally disagree with most of what that guy says, but at least he has, you know, he's a true Labour man, you know, and I would never vote for him in a million years, but I would never ever try and stop his right to say what he wants, yeah? I think he's a little bit anti-Semitic, but at the end of the day, so's most of the bloody mainstream media now. You know, and I'm just hoping some of these Labour older statesmen start standing up to Starmer and telling him, you can't do this, you cannot keep doing this, we're going to move, we're going to go to start our own party, you know, we're going to do something. I mean, Socialist Workers' Party or whatever they were, which is a bit of a contradiction in terms because they're mostly unemployed that are in it. or what they call full-time protesters, which are people who are unemployed. I'm surprised they aren't kicking off, you know, but we'll see. I think things will change, you know.